Well, hello and welcome back. My name's Mark. This is Camp Lapidary, and we're out in the cargo trailer. Today is the 4th of July, 2022. It's hot out. Summertime. It's hot out, and it's hot in here. 97. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. 97. Now, it's actually cooler in here right now because I have this door cracked open. And this is the first time I've done this. Cracked it open and kind of propped it open with the little plywood flap up there. Normally it would be 102 or 103 degrees in here, even with the windows open and the door open. So these windows are, they're pretty small, and not a lot of air just comes through on its own. Same with this one. I mean, a little bit. And what does work good is if you turn this on, this vent fan on, exhausting out or in, it works both ways. It can pull or push a lot of air through these windows. But it still is hot in here. Like, okay, so I've been sleeping in here, right? It's my bed. And I'll come out here at 9:30 or 10 o'clock at night, and it's hot in here. It's 90 plus degrees with the fans going, and the daytime sun is just beat on the trailer, and it turns it into a little oven in here, and it's hard to sleep when it's that warm. It's hard for me to sleep when it's that warm. And I put the fan, this little fan, I angle it towards the bed. All right, and that does work. But anyway, it's been too hot in here until at least like midnight, and then once midnight rolls around, then it's kind of cool enough. It's not too hot, and so I bought this magic mesh screen door. And I got them at the same time as I got this one. And this one I put up pretty much right away. And this one, I wasn't sure if I wanted to use it or not. If I put it up, now there's a mesh going across this door. It doesn't make it easier to get a motorcycle in and out. Otherwise, I don't really use the door. The only thing I ever really use the door for is just to get the motorcycle in and out. I don't really like the door being wide open because my neighbors are just right over there, right? I like to have a certain amount of privacy. I don't necessarily like to be observed all the time. And so in use of this trailer, in everyday use, if I'm out and about, if I'm out in a boondocking and it's really hot, I might have the door down for air ventilation. And that would be the only real reason, to let in light and let in air if it's super, super hot. So I got this mesh, and I've been resisting putting it up because once it's there, it's going to be there. You can take it down, but honestly, I probably won't. I might make it so that I could roll it up and then tie it up so that it's up there by the spring, and maybe I can do something like that. But I was always concerned with my feet. So there's not a lot of space between the end of the bed and where that screen door needs to happen. Now, I wanted to have the screen door out here at this very edge, but you've got this wire to deal with, And as the door operates, the angle of that wire changes a little bit. So you'd have to have a pretty good size hole in your screen to have it out there. So, you know, basically I have this wheel, and then right here is where the screen could happen. And then maybe it can angle out and then down. So I was getting ready to kind of do that because it's so hot in here. And I thought, well, maybe I can drop the door, I'll put up the screen, and maybe I can figure out a way so that the neighbors can't just see into here. And then as I was playing with the door, I just kind of pushed it open a little bit and then propped it open with this thing, and I really like it. Instantly, upon putting it like that, there's so much more air flowing through the trailer. And I kind of like the fact that it has a little roof on there, that little bit of shade. You know, because I'd originally thought, well, maybe I might get rid of this 3/4 inch plywood flap and this hinge and save a few pounds. And so now that I'm have this thing propped open, and I'm really liking the vibe of having the cracks on the side. You know, it lets in light, lets in air, yet still kind of remains somewhat private. So I was getting ready to put in this this mesh door, and because there's a lot of bugs, you know, it's summertime and there's just a million bugs flying around, and I try to keep the bugs out of here. They do get in a little bit. There's these little bugs right there. They're all over everything, and flies and whatever, spiders and stuff. So that's where I'm at. It gets really hot in here. And there's, you know, even with these windows, there's not a lot of ventilation. Now, I was thinking it's possible I could get bigger windows. They sell, I think it's a 24-inch window. So this is a 16-inch, 12 inches wide, or maybe it was 14 inches wide. 14 inches wide by 16 inches tall. I think they make one that's 14 inches wide by 24 inches tall. And that would have a bigger opening. And so basically I would just have to extend the bottom down the proper length, whatever, and cut it out and install the bigger window. Could do that twice. That's not something I'm going to do right away, but it's a possibility. And then I could take these littler windows and maybe put them in my tiny trailer. They might go good inside this little tiny 4-foot by 6-foot trailer. And I was thinking about remodeling the inside of this trailer. With having this bigger trailer, I've kind of rethought owning this trailer. I mean, I don't want to sell it, I don't want to get rid of it, but there's other things that I could maybe outfit it for better, as opposed to it being my main trailer. You know, this is my main trailer now. So that could be, I could outfit it to be different. So I don't really want to go too deep into there. But other than that, I want to remodel it, and having these windows in there might actually be a pretty cool thing. Let in light and ventilation in that trailer. But so I set up some woodworking tools out behind that door. You've seen it before. I'm not going to film it all, but I'm going to rip down a piece of wood because I don't want to attach this screen just to the metal, this aluminum sheeting. I'm gonna put in a new joist or beam or whatever, but it'll be made out of wood and it'll be over here. So I'll get that done and installed, and then I'll show you when it's done, and then we can think about putting up that screen. All right, so this is what I have so far. So I attached this piece of wood to this piece of wood before I installed the whole assembly. So that's goes all the way across. Same thing on that side. Now, this aluminum, you know, up here we have plywood kind of creating a high spot in the aluminum. And there's a high spot right here. So what I've done is I created this piece of wood. It's kind of got a bow to it. And it fits up there like that. And I think that's nice. And then, so the screen is going to be attached here on this surface, and I'll roll it up occasionally when I'm not using it. But to have it stay up there and be a positive that it's going to stay up there, I fashioned this little strip of 3/4 by 3/8 inch wood out of the scrap that I created this other piece of wood out of, and I'll attach this up there once the screen is in place. Just drill through it and put a few screws in there, and that way it can come down easily if I need it to. Anyway, current conditions, 101 in here. Pretty warm. Pretty warm. All right. So I went inside. I was reading the instructions for a little bit. And seems like this one, the split was pretty much right in the middle. On this one, the split is going to be offset to one side. And of course I'll want that offset to one side over here. When I was trying to figure out which brand of screen door to purchase, I did notice this one having an offset opening, and that's pretty much the reason why I went with it. There was another brand, I don't remember what it was, but it was different, and it had in the middle. Probably go ahead and roll it up once or twice in the stick. All right. So I got the top affixed. And I'm using the Velcro for the sides. But it's pretty hot in here. 100 degrees.